It's a great day to be alive. It's a great day to be alive. Okay, it is a great day to be alive. Good morning to you. Hope this day finds you well. Well, let's get right to it. Let's get to the weather. Let's see what the weatherman has in store for us today. As a matter of fact, right now it is 51 degrees outside. Right now, feels like 51 degrees also. The forecast for the rest of the day, according to the weatherman, there's a 58% chance of precipitation, rain showers early, and with bright sunshine by the afternoon. High around 60 degrees today. Now, that's my kind of weather right there. Not too cold, not too hot. Pretty good. Winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Chance of rain again, 60%. On tonight, clear skies, low around 35 degrees. Gonna get a little chilly tonight. Yet will. And variable. But I'm not turning on them heaters. I don't care what happens. I'm just going to freeze. Hey, listen, that electric bill last month scared the hell out of me. I'm no. So we just got to be a little cold for one night, and then the warm weather's coming in. Okay. Anyway, again, let me say that again. Clear skies on tonight, low around 35 degrees. That's not freezing. A little chilly, but it's not freezing. Tomorrow, sunny, high around 72 degrees, winds light and variable. So I'm good. I'm good. Okay, so we got to put up with one cold night, tonight a little bit, but that's okay. Put some covers on the bed, taking a little extra blanket. Don't okay. Remember, I got a boycott on Alabama Power right now. Don't turn on the heat when it get cold, okay? Because that way you get back at them. Okay, you get back at them. Okay, you get back at them for charging us all that money. Okay, last month because it got cold. Now let's show Alabama Power that we are not wimps. Okay, we are men. Okay, and if we need to, we'll put some more blankets on the bed. Okay, we won't. We're not going to. We're not going to be used and abused. Okay, again, and if necessary, we'll cut all the power off of the house. Okay, we'll do that. Yeah, we won't use electricity for 3 months. Okay, make us mad. Okay, I'm just saying. So I'm just saying. Okay, we got to show them who's boss, and we're the boss. Okay, if we stop paying Alabama Power, okay, they're gonna feel the hurt. Okay, they're gonna feel the hurt. Of course, you may be frozen F. Okay, it's a Monday. It's what's it? Thursday morning. Today is my Hagler day where I go do a TV show with Mr. Hagler this morning at around 11 to 12 o'clock, something like that. Then I get to stop by Sinclair's, not Sinclair's, down the street. But somebody told me that the owner of Sinclair's has passed. Our prayers and our condolences go out to their family. Anyway, right now it's time to rise and shine.
We change the world in history right here where we're from. It's new beginnings for you and me, cause we're not done. In our city, in our city, in our city, we're not done.
But I got a real trooper coming in this morning. Reminds me of myself in my younger days. Okay, maybe not so young, but anyway. So we got our daily breads coming on, and then we'll come. Our guest this morning is going to be Mr. Mickey McDermott. We're going to talk a little things about politics, law, and hey, maybe, although we talked about it enough already. Maybe about what it's like to dingle from the sky under a silk umbrella. Okay, who knows? Anyway, gotta take a break. We'll come back. I guess today is gonna be Mickey McDermott, but right now we have to go to our daily bread. We gotta get a word from on high. Change our perspective, give us a new one. Either way, it's good for the soul. So we'll be back right after these messages.
In the quiet of
When we help or hurt one another, Jesus takes it personally.
Our Daily Bread.
Today's encouragement from the Our Daily Bread devotional was written by Mark DeHaan. On a crowded London commuter train, an early morning rider shoved and insulted a fellow passenger who got in his way. It was the kind of unfortunate and mindless moment that usually remains unresolved. But later that day, the unexpected happened. A business manager sent a quick message to his social media friends. Guess who just showed up for a job interview? When his explanation appeared on the internet, people all over the world winced and smiled. Imagine walking into a job interview only to discover that the person who greets you is the one you had shoved and sworn at earlier that day. Saul also ran into someone he never expected to see. While raging against a group called The Way, he was stopped in his tracks by a blinding light. Then a voice said, "Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?" Saul asked, "Who are you, Lord?" The one speaking to him replied, "I am Jesus, whom you are persecuting." Years earlier, Jesus had said that how we treat the hungry, the thirsty, the stranger, and the prisoner reflects our relationship to Him. Who would have dreamed that when someone insults us, or when we help or hurt another, the one who loves us takes it personally?
Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Acts chapter 26, verses 9 through 15. I, too, was convinced that I ought to do all that was possible to oppose the name of Jesus of Nazareth. And that is just what I did in Jerusalem. On the authority of the chief priests, I put many of the Lord's people in prison, and when they were put to death, I cast my vote against them. Many a time I went from one synagogue to another to have them punished, and I tried to force them to blaspheme. I was so obsessed with persecuting them that I even hunted them down in foreign cities. On one of these journeys, I was going to Damascus with the authority and commission of the chief priests. About noon, King Agrippa, as I was on the road, I saw a light from heaven, brighter than the sun, blazing around me and my companions. We all fell to the ground, and I heard a voice saying to me in Aramaic, "Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me? It is hard for you to kick against the goads." Then I asked, "Who are you, Lord?" "I am Jesus, whom you are persecuting," the Lord replied. That's today's scripture reading from Acts chapter 26, verses 9 through 15.
And now let's pray. Father, forgive us for acting as if you were not present in our moments of need, hurt, anger, or compassion. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
And
When
now,
we help or hurt one another, Jesus takes it personally.
Let me stop
Our
that.
Daily Bread.
Okay, now we pay homage to our armed forces of these United States again, in which your guests, our guests, and myself are honorably served this nation, and so we are certainly going to honor these young men and women who are standing in harm's way, so we don't have to. Anyway, then we'll get back to our guest, and again, our guest today is Mr. Mickey McDermott, attorney at law, former United States Army Airborne Ranger. He actually got the tab, so you don't have to tell me, Don, that I have it. I feel you. I don't. Anyway, let us get this out the way right quick so we can get to our guest, because we have to honor our armed forces, because That's the thin line. That's the thin line between freedom and oppression. It's those young men and women who stand in the way of those that would do us harm. They wear this nation's uniform. We don't make politics. We don't decide where to go. All we know is that we go where we're asked to go and do who we're asked to do to defend this nation against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So, with that in mind, let's take a listen to our Macmillan International Academy, the young girls and girls. My granddaughter, if you listen to her, she's in there too, paying homage to all the armed forces of these United States of America. Good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine. Local kids. You're getting there. That's right. That's good. Hey, we gotta give Marines their props. Hey, how many Marines does it take to make an airborne ranger? 3. Okay, all right, we are here live, and now let me get all my videos back on the screen now because I don't want you guys to think I'm trying to hide out or anything. And let's bring to the stage, introduce to some, reintroduce to others, one of Montgomery's most infamous attorneys at law, one of the most successful men, but a man who needs really no introduction. His reputation far precedes him. Okay. Anyway. Good morning, Mickey.
Airborne, brother.
All the way in Denson. Anyway, there are those that don't believe that the elk dog sat here and put his knees in the breeze. I got one guy that just swears up and down, I have never jumped on anything but the bed. But that's okay. We'll talk to him some other time. But anyway, you are from Montgomery, right? or Columbus?
No, I was born and raised at Fort Benning, Georgia. I was
Okay.
born in the original hospital at Fort Benning, which later became the museum on Post.
Oh, the
Uh,
Infantry Museum. Where? Yeah, I've been down. Yeah.
no, not the new one. The
That is-
old one. The old one was the base hospital where I was born, and quite frankly, when I went through basic training, they took you back then. They took you to that museum, and I started laughing in one of the rooms, and I had a drill sergeant just chewing me out, and and I said, you got to understand, I was born in this room."
Well, obviously, it ain't the same room now that it used to be.
No, it's still there, but it's used for the uh, School of Latin America.
Hmm.
Yeah, because
It,
we still train foreign officers and
right.
senior NCOs from foreign countries, who are our partners. Sometimes our adversaries, but most
Yeah.
of the time our partners.
I was going to say that. Well, okay, we train them to do what we do, and that way they know how to do to us what they do. All right, then. Anyway, good morning to you. I called Mickey in because Mickey is an authority. He's a lawyer. What kind of law do you practice, Mickey? A little bit of everything?
Well, I'm a trial lawyer. I'm retired as the magistrate of the juvenile courts out on Air Base.
Mm-hmm.
After I finished law school, I worked my way through law school as a third shift Montgomery police officer. And when I finished law school, I became the magistrate of the courts out on Air Base
Mm-hmm.
under Judge Davis and Judge Dura for a number of years. I retired from that and I went into private practice. I've been doing private practice since 1996.
1996. Well, I got here in 91. So okay, well that's pretty good. And you handled some interesting cases. One of the things you do though, you represent police officers
I
often.
do. I represent through, some people don't know this, but police officers have associations. One of which is there's the Prattville Police Officer Association.
Hmm.
I represent them. I represent some FOP, Fraternal Order Police clients, and I am the state lead attorney for the Police Benevolent Association, PBA. PBA provides attorneys to officers who are involved in fatalities, serious injuries, shootings, uh, pursuits where someone is injured. We represent the officer at the scene through the process of the investigation. If the investigation turns into criminal charges, if the investigation turns into civil charges, because people don't realize that police officers get sued for car wrecks that are on duty. They get charged sometimes with excessive force. Uh, Sometimes, like when they use the canine dogs, they get sued because
Hmm.
sometimes the canine dogs go a little wild. I'm actually representing an Alabama state trooper right now who was bit on a crime scene by a Montgomery County canine. so, there's things like workman's comp and medical bills. I do a lot of that. And then there's pay disputes, administrative hearings, late for work too many times, things like that. And people don't know this, but the hearing officer in Montgomery is the Honorable Retired Judge Charles Price. Judge Price hears most of the administrative hearings for the city of Montgomery for its employees. And,
Interesting.
and Judge Price is a retired airborne trooper.
Yeah. Former Green Beret, as a matter of fact.
Absolutely. He was a communication commo sergeant back in the day. Um, he and I have taken some tours at Fort Benning, and he and I have a brick in the Walk of Honor at Fort Bragg at the Special Forces Museum. I actually arranged for his during his retirement time for his brick to be installed, because not only does the Special Forces and the Ranger and the infantry and the airborne commemorate those who have served with distinction while in the military, they also look at the civilian aspect. What'd you do with the rest of your life? Did you contribute to society? Um, and Judge Price made a mark on this community in this state. You know, he's the first African American Attorney General for the state of Alabama, um, first Black circuit judge, and the first Black presiding circuit judge here in Montgomery. Um, he's had a wonderful contribution to our society.
Yeah, and let's not because I spent a little time with Judge Price last week. I think he retired as a lieutenant colonel, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah,
He did.
yeah, lieutenant colonel. Those birds are hard to get. Although I was talking to a colonel one day, and I said, "Where your wings at?" He was a leg. He said, "Well, I got him on my wait." He said, "I got him on my shoulders," and I just shut up and left it alone. Okay, we're good. We're good. Why do you believe, as a former Montgomery police officer, why do you believe there seems to be a difficult time populating our police department?
Well, and it's situationally dependent. I'll say that. I'll start off with retention and recruiting was doing quite well in Montgomery until the Ferguson debacle in Missouri. And that was immediately followed by lawsuits, arrests, investigations. And we as a society, for about 10 years, were extremely suspicious, dismissive of law enforcement officers, and not supportive in many, many communities. And Montgomery was one of them. Now, mind you, I have also prosecuted, because I was a prosecutor for the Attorney General's office years ago. I have prosecuted police officers. I have sued police officers and police departments for wrongdoing. So it's a two-edged sword. Police officers are human beings. They make mistakes. Only one man has ever walked this earth in perfection without sin, and that is our Lord and Savior, Christ Jesus. But the rest of us, we make mistakes, and law enforcement has a long history of bad hires, bad supervision, and bad conduct in this country. And unfortunately, they've gotten away with it in the past on sometimes, but in many societies, we've reined in law enforcement officers, and we have a structure in this United States right now which holds law enforcement officers accountable, and it is based hopefully on an individual basis to train them, supervise them, punish them if they do wrong, commend them if they do well. But during that dark time period of Ferguson, here in Montgomery, it was immediately, almost days later, that we had the Greg Gunn, Cody Smith case, and that garnered national attention. And we started losing officers through retirements and attrition, and officers started looking for smaller jurisdictions because the environment in Montgomery towards police officers became very hostile from our administration, and it continued. And with the election of Stephen Reed, we have had the same budget. We're spending the same amount of money, but the number of police officers has steadily dwindled. And through some policy decisions, we have turned people off in this country, and the next generation of law enforcement officers have been turned off from the profession. And in Montgomery, that shortage has come back to bite us with our crime statistics and our quality of life. Hopefully, that will turn around, and the people that we elect will make better choices in utilizing law enforcement in our community, because we all want safety. We all want to sleep well in our beds, but at the same time, we don't want profiling. We don't want abuse. We don't want untrained officers or officers who believe that they are a law unto themselves.
I talked to the mayor last week. I think last week, week before last, and
I
he's
actually watched that.
oh yeah. Now he did say he's got 1,000 applications for
Yeah.
policemen.
Yes. Well, and one of the things that's happened is we've started looking at how surrounding jurisdictions have been handling the police labor force crisis that's going on in this country. And Birmingham is an excellent example. Um, they looked at the quality of life. They started looking for enhancements. They started recruiting from colleges. They started going into criminal justice. They started looking at criminal justice students around the country to recruit. They started going to the military and military veterans who are ending their time in the service and started recruiting those heavily. And I'm honored to say that uh, some of my colleagues with the PBA, in conjunction with the Birmingham Police Department, Birmingham is fully manned. Fully manned. Now, Montgomery is woefully around 50% or less, but let's hope that the 1,000 applicants in Montgomery are of quality, can pass background checks, will go get adequately and properly trained, and if so, that they will become the next generation of law enforcement officers in our community.
Hmm. Okay, so you feel that how can I put this? What has been happening, of course, has happened. Uh, the dwindling of our police officers has happened under the mayor, the current mayor now. But I think we saw some of this going on when Todd was in also. I mean, people, because of the incidents that you brought up.
You're
So
absolutely right.
right.
There was already a move in this country away from law enforcement. I will say this: after 9/11, I think every teenager in the country wanted to be a fireman, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and it's a trend. Um, Law enforcement had a hard time in recruiting. If you look at the statistics from the national government databases, prior to World War II, the numbers were dwindling across the nation. It's hard to get people in it. And then um, the Depression hit and the numbers went up. And as the Depression subsided, the numbers went down. World War II came along. And at the end of World War II, 80% of law enforcement in the United States after World War II were World War II veterans. 80%. And that trend continued. And then it started dwindling in the 70s and 80s because law enforcement wasn't keeping up with technology and training. It wasn't keeping up with personal responsibility. And it came back to haunt them when the trend in technology with computer. I'm telling you, when the technology wave started coming in the 90s, people started turning away from blue collar jobs, and law enforcement has always been a blue collar job. Um, and so it was easier to type on a computer than it is to get in a patrol car. And then the civil unrest after Ferguson just made it worse. It's slowly recovering across this country, in large measures because we have a large population of military veterans who have come out of the prolonged Middle East conflict, and law enforcement is a easy transition from the military for many people.
Is it fair that we are asking what is it that the mayor can do to fully furnish or fully employ people for our police department? And do you think it has really nothing to do with the mayor, but the environment in which we live in today?
Well, everybody is a player. Everybody's a stakeholder in this. Every citizen in this community has a vested interest in its fire department, its infrastructure, its 911 responders, and its police officers. And when I say that, I mean we have we've got to, if we want police officers in the next generation, we have to hold police officers who are here today accountable, but we have to pay them, laud them, reward them, treat them respectfully if they deserve it. If they don't, I can understand it. But for the most part, we have to make it an honorable profession and an honorable goal for employment for the next generation. The mayor has, when he came into office, he came in during the time of transition, during I call it the post-Ferguson George Floyd era, and he is very progressive. He's a progressive Democrat, which is perfectly fine. Progressivism is a necessary transition in our society, and it has some reformative qualities, and it's a good thing. But he made some tactical decisions and strategic decisions which have affected police officers, and it ran police officers out of the job. They didn't want to stay, they wanted to leave. And when I point to things, it'll be obvious to you. When was the last time you saw a motorcycle cop in Montgomery?
Oh, wow.
We don't have any. The mayor parked all of those motorcycles. That was his decision. So we had an entire division gone. When was the last time you saw the bicycle police downtown?
I haven't seen them in a while.
Parked them. When was the last time? We have a thing called shot spotters, these big towers that listen to gunshots and all that. Where are they? Where are they?
Well, did they do us any good?
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Well, let me tell you what a shot spotter will do for you. A shot spotter will instantly tell police commands, there's a gunfire on the corner of Atlanta Highway, Madison, and Coliseum Boulevard. The gunshot sound is AK-47 or 9mm. There's one shot or there's 20 shots. The direction of travel of the bullet is east-west, which means it's being fired toward the CVS. ShotSpotter can do that for you, and it can dispatch that and give that information to the 911 call center, who can instantly send the closest unit to that area.
Right.
As opposed to Kevin having to pick up his phone and say, hey, I live on Atlanta Highway. I just heard a gunshot. Y'all might want to go check it out.
So, okay, now I guess because I'm all confused here now. Now, I've talked to the mayor a few times. So he is responsible for us not having the shot spotters or the motorcycle police. I mean,
he's the commander of our law enforcement.
Right.
It's all on him. Now, we changed administrations and changed chiefs of police, and John Grayboys is a wonderful young man. I actually had the honor and the privilege of having him as one of my, we did a training program when officers transitioned into the juvenile system many, many years ago, and he used to spend evenings with me at the juvenile court, getting familiar with the juvenile court system. He's been in law enforcement for a long, long time. He has a great deal of experience. He loves his police department. He loves his officers. I think he is a wonderful addition to our law enforcement, and we are glad to have him. The officers like him. But he's the chief of police, and he works at the good,
Behest.
I was going to say the good graces and the blessings of the mayor. But a chief of police is tactical. When to deploy officers, where to deploy, how many to deploy. That's tactics. Strategic is, do we have a bicycle patrol in downtown Montgomery in our tourist district? No. Do we have motorcycle cops making traffic stops on Atlanta Highway, especially on Friday afternoons when it gets late, when those cars start going 100 miles an hour, weaving through traffic? No. Do we have enough officers deployed in high crime areas during times that, late Saturday nights, Friday nights, hot summer nights? Probably not. And that's strategic. And that has to come from the city council and our mayor, the leadership, and that's funding and prioritizing. When we don't have the manpower to run 25 police motorcycles, then we don't have the manpower, so we don't use the motorcycles. You have to use your resources when you have them. And then it becomes, what's the reputation of the city of Montgomery's police department? Not just from the citizens aspects, but from a potential employee aspect. Does it pay well? Is the quality of life in Montgomery good? Are there recreational opportunities, school opportunities? Is it a good place to live after I change jobs, or after I finish college, or after I get out of the military? All of those factors play into someone making a decision to become a police officer, because it's a heavy investment in training and teaching a police officer and then giving them experience. It's a big investment from this community, but it's a big investment from an employee standpoint. Can I make a good living? Is there a good retirement system? I have advocated for years that the city of Montgomery's retirement system needs to be looked at as an incentive for hiring, because currently officers are joining the RSA program. That's a fairly new incentive for police officers to be part of RSA. So that's a good retirement system. There was the old arcane system where if you worked for the city of Montgomery, you did not pay Social Security taxes. So when you retired from the police department, you could get a retirement from the city, but you couldn't get Social Security because you never paid into it. And that goes back to the Emery Fulmer days. And we have to transition from that to a much more aggressive pay and incentive package if you want quality young men and women to come here and stay. And I'm not a recruiter for the Montgomery Police Department. I'm an outsider, but from a former officer and someone who represents police officers on a regular basis. They're members of our society. We hold them to a higher standard than everyone else. We train them, but we need to pay them and support them at that high level if we want to keep them, because otherwise they're going to do just like Mickey McDermott did. Went out on the street, finished graduate school. I have a master's in criminal justice, specializing in criminal forensic sciences. I took my skills and went somewhere else. And Montgomery is a training ground, and that training ground transitions you to other departments quite easily. Um, Now, there's a lot of people who come to Montgomery to get trained, to get experience, to go other places.
Mm-hmm.
That's in every business. But our goal is to get a quality officer in here, get him or her trained, get them on the street, and retain them throughout their careers, so that that knowledge and that training benefits our community long term.
Okay.
We make an investment in them. We want them to invest in our community.
Let me ask something. Something came up controversial with the police. Was it in Texas or California or someplace, when the police officers were pretty much sued because they didn't go head on into some automatic weapon fire.
Well, okay. Well, let's go to that. That is the Uvalde School, the elementary school
Mhm.
in Texas. The first officers on the scene called their chain of command when they first got there, and they were given a stand your ground order. Now that case has just recently been litigated before a jury, and they found the supervisors not culpable for any criminal misconduct. They're probably going to wind up paying millions of dollars in civil penalties. But officers are trained to go towards gunfire. That's what we train them for. And from a citizen and from a former officer perspective, the first officers on that scene failed those children. I don't care.
Let me ask you a question.
You go into the burning building. That's what you're paid
Well,
for.
but let me ask you a question. I got to ask you a question. Now, it is my understanding that the only people in this country that get paid to go get killed are military people. So you telling me that as a police officer, you are paid to give your life?
You are paid to encounter danger. You are entitled to defend yourself,
Mm-hmm.
but you have a duty to third parties to intervene and protect lives. And those officers who were first on that scene, one went to a back door, and the darn back door was chain locked. The school had locked it with a padlock.
Mm-hmm.
The other officers who were on the front of the building did not enter that school. And I'm sorry. They suffered the consequences. They need to be fired. They need to be delicensed. People don't realize that police officers are licensed through each state. In Alabama, it's called APOS, the Alabama Police Officer Standard and Training.
Mm-hmm.
And you can lose your license for misconduct. You can lose your license for bad choices. You can lose your license for cowardice in the field. We've actually had an officer here in Montgomery who was fired and prosecuted for cowardice in the field. He did not enter into a residence where a young Montgomery police detective had been shot by her boyfriend, and he was dispatched to the shooting and did not go through the front door. He just stood outside and waited for backup. And he was charged with cowardice in the field, and it cost him his career.
Okay, so let me now. What you're an attorney, so I think you know this. There have been cases at the Supreme Court where the Supreme Court has said officers do not have an obligation to protect you as an individual. So where do you get this thing where they got to go in danger? I mean, that's what the Supreme Court said. And you know what happened? A lady had an order against her boyfriend. Okay, he kept harassing her and stalking her and stuff like that, and eventually he killed her. Well,
Yes.
It went toward the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said police have no obligation to protect you personally. So how do we fire somebody for not going in the building?
It's situationally dependent. Okay. if there are active rounds coming at you,
Mm-hmm.
then you're entitled to take cover. But in the school, the elementary school shooting, Uvalde, there were
Mm-hmm.
no active rounds. The suspect was in a classroom down a hallway with an automatic weapon, semi-automatic weapon. He had not shot out the windows. He was not shooting down the hallways. He had lightly barricaded himself. But these officers didn't go down the hallway. They didn't take a position outside the door to the classroom. They stayed outside 100 feet away behind cars. Now, I bet you if you took a poll of your listeners right now, when I just said that,
Mm-hmm.
every one of them said, if that was me and those were children and I was a police officer, I would have been going in there. And if I didn't go in there, I didn't need that job. And the men that didn't go in there, they didn't need that job. I'm sorry. There is a line between going into harm's way and throwing your life away. And if the shooter is actively shooting in your direction, yes, you can take cover. Any police officer is trained to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But if there is not an active shooter at you, you move towards the danger. You don't take up long-term positions. I'll give you a great personal story.
Mm-hmm.
I spent 8 months on the Thai-Cambodian border. And when I flew back in, because of bad weather, they diverted my plane. I was supposed to go to Fort Lewis. They diverted my plane to San Francisco. And I had a 2-day layover. And I'm in a hotel in San Francisco next to the airport. First time I seen TV in 8 months. And I sit down on the bed and I'm watching TV, and it's live coverage of a gunman in a McDonald's in California. You'll remember this. Some of your audience will. The gunman was walking up and down behind the big glass windows, slowly executing people in a McDonald's. There's 15 police cars parked side by side, 10 feet away from the windows, and they're all behind their police cars, and not one of them fired a round through that window. Not one. I watched it for 23 minutes live, screaming at the TV, shoot the bastard, shoot him, shoot the bastard, because he's going to kill some of the citizens. Damn right he's going to kill them, and he did. He wound up killing 34 of them.
Wow. What year was that? I don't remember that one.
You go back and you look. They actually tore down that McDonald's and put up a granite memorial to it, to the shooting at the massacre at the McDonald's. And I watched it live, screaming. I had somebody not come and knock on the door. Is everything okay in there, sir? Because I was screaming so loud. I wanted, every fiber in my being wanted to shoot that bastard.
But don't we as a society hold some responsibility for that? Because every time a police wants to pull his gun and stuff like that, we want to sue him. We want to call him a murderer. We want to call him all of these things.
And that's why it's difficult to get young men and women to become police officers. It's better now. I will tell you, 10 years ago, after Ferguson, after George Floyd, after Gregory Gunn was shot and killed here in Montgomery, it was tough to get people to come work here. Tough. And it has slowly evolved. We have moved out of that George Floyd era. And police officers are in jail because of it. I'll give you a great example. The U.S. Department of Justice, state of Alabama, is prosecuting jail officers, correction officers, and sheriffs in Walker County right now because of the way a suspect was manhandled on the scene and then allowed to die in a jail in Walker County.
Mhm.
Officers are going to federal prison. Nurses, correction officers are going to federal prison. Um, so there is oversight, and some good has come from those horrible events of Ferguson and George Floyd and Cody Smith and Gregory Gunn. Some good has come out of that. And we as a society have evolved. But we still need law enforcement officers, so we have to do what we can to weed out the bad ones, protect and enhance the good ones. Simple as that.
Well, it is a tough job. It is a tough job. And I don't think I'd want to do it myself. Years ago, when I was a kid, of course, everybody wanted to be like a cop or something like. I mean, Dragnet was my favorite show.
That's it, Friday, always.
Yeah. But anyway, so you represent police officers. You also do a bunch of you're a criminal lawyer and
That's
you
correct.
handle criminal cases. So if Leroy and Bubba get out there and get in trouble, they might call a brother and see if you can help them out.
Well, I do a great deal of that. We have a good law office here. I have Michael Kidd, Alva Lambert, and Tim McCullum in here. We all do a little slightly different type of litigation and representation. We have a business and estate plannings. We have a criminal division. Michael Kidd not only does criminal work, he does a great deal of sports law. He
Mhm.
represents a number of these young men and women through the NIL process. That's a growing field in law enforcement. I mean, in legal representation these days. Um, and then there's, because we are Montgomery, Alva Lambert, who does a great deal of legislation work representing clients and
He's also
lobbyists.
running for office, isn't he?
He is also running for the vacated seat from, um, I guess is that 72, District 72, I think it is.
I don't know.
Is Old Cloverdale and parts of East Montgomery, and um, he was running for the state house. We wish him well. Hope he does well. He is unopposed I think he's he's the Republican uh, nominee because he didn't have opposition in the primary. So
Well, tell him he needs to come by my house right here, or by this studio right here, so I can ask him some questions. So tell him he don't get off that easy. Not
well,
just
I will give him contact information.
yeah,
Maybe he can come on your show one day.
yeah. So we
Talk to the good citizens.
because we
We've got elections coming up
yeah.
um, for various state house positions. Um, we got some city council up, don't we? I think
That's
this next
next
one,
year. Yeah, that's
next
next
year.
year. Hmm.
And we've also got midterms coming up
Hmm.
at the national level. Some of our state house members and our congressional seats are up. So I certainly encourage everyone to find out about your candidates and cast your votes wisely. I see that we were able to get some funding for infrastructure through the work of Shamari Figures. That's always a blessing during campaign season when a politician can get some of our federal money back for us. So,
Although from what I understand, Alabama owes the federal government. The federal,
well, and every state has that,
yeah.
but we all contribute to the federal pot.
Mm.
But the other thing is Alabama is becoming a really tax heavy state. We never used to be. We still have some of the lowest property taxes in the country, but
That's because everything else is high.
that's what I was about to say. It is high time for our state legislature to either start looking at doing away with property taxes in this state, or at least doing away with property taxes for people over the age of 65.
Mm.
A lot of states have gone that way, realizing that your work years are over with and you have paid property taxes and you own your property. Why should you have to keep paying the government for the privilege of owning your own land.
I guess you really don't own it.
Well, and that's the thing. That's a problem. We're going to have to address that in this state. We're also going to have to look at tax on groceries because, we pay property taxes, we pay income tax, state, federal. We've got our mayor wanting to do a employment tax, which is an absolute disincentive to businesses, and it's just punishing people who live in Prattville that work in Montgomery, and
But now, wait a minute. Now, people do ride across them roads and bridges coming
yeah,
here.
and that's why you pay state taxes and you pay gasoline tax. Everybody needs to remember Guy Hunt. Remember the 10-cent tax on gas to keep our roads in the state.
Right.
Yeah. Well, when was the last time you rode on I-85 and didn't have to dodge a pothole? When was the last time you went down Atlanta Highway and didn't have to turn the radio up louder because how many times your tires were bouncing? You cannot say that the gas tax has improved the quality of roads in this state, because that's an absolute falsehood. We get little patches. How long did you used to live on Congressman Dickerson, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
And how long did it take them to pave that dang road? And it's still not finished.
No, but it sure feels good to ride down now.
It does. And it probably took them 10 years.
Yeah.
And to this day, you still can't transition from Congressman Dickerson to Coliseum Boulevard without going through gravel, because they still hadn't finished the sides of the roads or the sidewalks. And those cones have been up there for 3 years.
Wait a minute! It took them 30 years to come to fix Fairview Avenue. So I mean,
yeah, and that is part of that is priorities. I understand it's a budget issue, but we seem to always be able to keep paving places dependent upon politicians, instead of fixing it for us as a whole. That's my problem. When was the last time you saw striping on the, because it doesn't cost a whole lot to go out one night with one of those striping machines and stripe the center lanes on Atlanta Highway. Because you can't tell left lane from right lane on half of that road.
Yeah, that's
true. And that's just because that's just piss poor management.
Well, maybe
because that's one of the most busy arteries in our area. And whoever designed East Chase and the entryway from Taylor Road, they need to be horsewhipped.
Well, because they did right, absolutely right. I mean, it's scary sometimes trying to get off that thing over there.
Oh, and Chantilly Road.
Yeah, man.
Oh my gosh! And I will say this: my wife and I took my wife out to dinner one Thursday afternoon about 4 months ago, and we got on the curve right in front of on Chantilly, where the Chevron gas station is. And there's a horrible accident that's occurred on the other side. And I can see there's obvious fatalities. And I come up on it just as a fire truck gets there. No need for me to intervene. I'm not going to jump out and pull somebody out of a burning car. I got firemen there. They're trained to do it. So we pass through it. We go and we eat dinner at Kuko's. We leave there and we go to Lowe's and I pick up some. We leave there and we go to Renfro's. And
who's closing?
Yes, I'm gonna miss my Renfro's. Yeah. But I liked it because they played Christian Jesus music in there, so we called it the Jesus store. Okay. So we shop, and we come back and we head home. It's 2 hours later now. It's 2 hours later. Obvious fatality. Firemen are still directing traffic. Ambulance is there. They got a body in a body bag. No police officer, not one. Firemen are directing traffic. They've been directing traffic for 2 hours. And I'm like, wait a minute. How come we don't have Montgomery, at least vehicle, the accident unit at this scene? And that's when I come to find out that we're now going to contract out to a private company to investigate accidents. Have you heard this one? Did you know that we're not, police officers are not going to investigate the accidents. A private company is going to come up and investigate the accident and issue a report. Now that means me as a lawyer, I got to subpoena a private company and their employee may or may not be there. So that means next time you have a fender bender and you're sitting on the side of the road on Atlanta Highway, you're not going to get a police officer to come help you. You're going to get some guy in a little bubble car or an EV car with a little yellow vest on. He's going to come out and fill out a form. Really? Really? Let me say that again. I'm going to rely on some 18-year-old who's working part-time for this third-party company, making $15 an hour. He's going to come up and assess a traffic accident where there may be injuries, there may be the need for an ambulance, there may be hostility, because you know as well as I do, you have some accidents, people get out of their car and they're madder than hell.
But I never figured that one out either. Why are you going to get mad? Wow.
Yeah, but you know as well as I do, it happens. And so now this little 18-year-old is going to get out there and he's going to run back in his car and he's going to call the police. We need an officer out here. Now, these people have sat out there for 2 hours waiting for this guy to come up. And so they're already mad beyond hell.
Yeah.
So it's just going to infuriate things. And I you know, if it's a way to get more officers out on the street, I understand it. If it's a temporary Band-Aid because you've got a manpower shortage, I understand that. Yeah. But I'm sorry.
We got to cut loose, but we want to have you on at least once or twice a month.
Sure. Well, you know where I am, and I'll reach out to some other good folks and have them reach out to you. Good. I pray for safety and peace on you and all of your audience. Oh, and by the way, I don't think you and I have talked much. I know Miss Daisy passed away. Yeah. The gentleman that used to read scripture.
Mr. Ed.
Has he passed away? Do
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he did.
Well, they were longtime listeners and contributors to your show, and in large measure, your show when you were on the radio and now was the only media access to a lot of disenfranchised people. You gave a voice to this community, Kevin, and I commend you for that, and I thank you for what you're doing now, because you don't have to do what you're doing now, and I know it's something you do as a passion, and by giving people a voice, I treat it as a mission field. Yeah. And you keep up the good work, Airborne, okay?
Well, thank you too, Airborne number 2.
All right, brother.
See you later.
All right. Bye.
Gotta take a break, and we'll be back after this. Okay, got about 2 minutes break, and I'll be right back.
quiet of the morning light, hands raised high in pure delight, thankful whispers in a gentle breeze, grateful heart with such sweet ease. Thank you, Lord, for every breath I take, for the love that heals and the joy you make in the tapestry of life. I see.
All righty then. We are back. Now, let me get through. I believe we get it, but if not, I got a lot of things.
With your warm embrace.
Once in a while, you gotta stop that right there. Every once in a while, you gotta talk about things that that matter.
Your faith, a beacon in the sky.
There we go. Anyway, let's talk about. I want to talk about something today that we rarely ever talk about. First of all, have you guys seen this? Well, let me show you this right quick. You ain't gonna believe what's going on in Washington D.C. right now. You're just not gonna believe this. Let me see if it's still going on. Okay, let me see. Let me see if it's still going on. A bunch of Muslims up there are blocking the highway. Wait, let me see if I got this. Okay, if I can get it over there, I'll show it to you. The elderly and the poor matter. Okay, let me see here now. Don't you know? Anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. As soon as I can find this, I'll get it to you guys, because I want to see what's going on in Washington D.C. right now. They think this is Tehran, I think, and they're sitting over there blocking the highways. And the fun thing about it, every last one of them blocking the highway, they got a G-Wagon, BMWs, and just nice cars, expensive cars. Which I ain't got nothing against people with expensive cars. I could have had one, had I had the brain to do it, but I didn't. And as soon as I can figure this out right here, I got it. But okay, now don't y'all go no, because I got that. I want you guys. Why is it that I cannot ever get these things right? That's the way it goes. Well, anyway, move right on to other things, because I got something else I want to talk about this morning, and I think it's time that we talk about it. Now, I realize a lot of people, and I myself too, have disagreements with the current mayor. But I had disagreements with Todd. Todd's my friend. I had disagreements with Bobby Bright. I had disagreements with when I got here in '91. The mayor of the city of Montgomery was Emery Farmer, who I liked. I mean, hey, paratrooper. What is there not to like? He was no nonsense kind of guy. You either man up or get gone. I mean, that's just the way he was. He said, what did he say? He said, it's not what you inspect. No, he said, it's not what you expect, but it's what you inspect. And I got to tell you something. I thought that was one of the greatest sayings that any politician has ever had. So he was a tough guy too. But let me tell you the one thing why we don't change. Why the every 4 years, and we are in that place right now. Okay, get that. Yes.
I thought old Willie Durham was a smart guy to that comment right there. Is it true that ICE has been paid and TSA is not?
I don't know. I mean, I heard somebody say that hit the.
You want me to explain it to you, since Willie ain't got enough.
Well, I think I know what it is, because when he passed that big beautiful budget,
the big beautiful bill,
right.
ICE was funded till like 1999. I mean 2029.
Yeah.
The Democrats are holding up the current Homeland Security thing for some BS that they don't like what ICE is, and ICE is already funded.
Yeah,
so Willie, if you're going to get out in politics, you ought to at least learn something. Read. Try to read. You ain't got anybody on your station that reads and learns anything
Well,
other
we don't,
than me, I
well,
don't
yeah,
think.
we don't need to because you know it
Look
all.
at Camilla up there. Camilla, get you a job. If you don't like the occupation, can't get a job where you are. Hey, Camilla, everybody will be charged the occupational tax. If you work in Montgomery, you will be charged it.
Yeah.
Won't you? It's just a scam. It's a scam. They call it occupational tax because why, Kevin?
Well, because everybody
Because why do they
works,
call it an occupational tax?
because they can't call it another kind.
Because it's illegal for cities to do income tax.
That's why we're gonna call it a fee.
Oh, you call it a fee.
That's right. It's a fee.
You can't call it what it is because it's illegal.
Well, again, I get tired of people shooting us the bird on the way back across the fence.
Nobody shoots you anything. You don't even go down. And then what's his name brought up 85. Did you ever learn that it belongs to the state?
Well, I mean, I knew that. I know that.
No, you did. You sit there and claim it's a federal holiday, highway.
85 don't. Wait a minute. 85 does not belong to the state.
It does too.
It's a federal highway.
I don't care. Here's the way it works. I'm gonna try to help you one last time, okay?
Well, help me.
When they complete it, they give it to the state to maintain it and own it.
Well, a guy called me that day.
I don't care what a guy called you.
Works for the Department of.
I know he worked for the state. He may have been out there in the prisons or something. I don't know.
No, he worked.
But let me tell you one more time because you can't learn.
I think you're right.
I mean that highways are turned over to the state to maintain.
I do not believe that.
I don't care what you believe. You're wrong.
Well, it won't be the first time I'm wrong, but I think you're wrong too.
You can't fix stupid, can you?
No, you cannot. Okay, unless you got some extra medicine. Okay. Nah, I'm never. Nah, you got to show me something, because I don't think we get to. I don't think Montgomery gets to run Interstate 85, Department of Transportation. I know they can. But I'll find out. Okay, I'll call it. I will call the Department of Transportation and see. I think you're wrong there, buddy. Man, let's talk about don't get me off my thing here. Okay, please don't get me off, because I rarely, it's difficult for me to stay on one thing as it is. But today I'm going to stay on this because this is important. I have been in this city for 35 years. My son will be 35 years old May the 25th. And I've been there ever since 91. And every election we've had, we hear the same old crap that we always heard. Same old thing. Nothing changes. Nothing. Except somebody gets a new job, somebody gets a paycheck, somebody gets paid for 4 years, $60,000 or whatever they're paying these guys nowadays, $70,000, whatever they're doing, to come to town for 3 months. Okay, but nothing changes really forward. There has been no substantial, conspicuous change for the city of Montgomery or the state of Alabama, except, we brought some businesses in. We brought this in. Oh, I'm not saying that some people don't do real well. They do. They do real well. But let me tell you, enough of this crap. I'm listening to Jamel the other day, last night in Birmingham. Don't have an answer for jack, but yet and still sounds as if he actually got a plan. He don't have a plan. All he does, most of these politicians, all they do is bring up the issues, never bring up a plan. Okay, they blame. Yeah, we need to take care of crime. We know that. We need better education. We know that. Those are called platitudes. And even he's learning the art of platitudism, because you don't say anything, you just bring up the issue and keep moving on to something else. Nobody, and he certainly don't have a plan for anything, okay? Nothing, except he brings up the issue. And bringing up the issue is not fixing the issue. But let me tell you one of the things, and now I've been fighting people forever in Montgomery on the radio, podcast, whatever, about always bringing up race. And I really believe that I believe that often we go back to race when we don't make a cogent argument about the issue. But there's one issue that may be now that I've seen it for 34 years. Okay, there may be an actual issue of race in this particular issue. Okay. Oh, there's my other buddy right there. Well, good morning, Pastor Knight. How you doing?
Good morning, Doc. How you doing today?
I'm doing fine. I'm trying to figure out why your picture on my screen so small. Oh, let me see here now. Yeah, why your picture so small, man? Oh, there we go. So anyway, now you're looking good. Tell the folks who you are because you can sort of help me with this conversation on this one too, because I have been saying race had nothing to do with anything, and this one particular issue, it seems to have a whole lot to do with race, and I don't know why that is, but it is what it is, and I fought some of my good friends in town, and what do you know? The one thing that Montgomery, as a capital city, does not have.
What don't we have?
Home rule. Okay. Home rule. Home rule is the ability to do certain things without having to go through the legislature to get it done through the House of Representatives legislation and the senators. We have no authority to run this city the way we think, any mayor, the way we think that the things we need. We don't have it. But here's the fun thing about it. A bunch of cities around us, they have it.
Give me an example of what you're talking about.
Okay. Tuskegee has the ability to impose a commuter tax, whatever you want to call it. Auburn, Birmingham, I believe even Toggerville. They have the ability to impose things without going through Reed Ingram, Chris Sales, and all the rest of them folks. They got to get it. They got to get it to them. When Montgomery, who's the capital city, it's like we got Pampers on, and we cannot do anything without the permission of the legislature.
Okay, so what did we try to do that we couldn't do?
Commuter tax. They got everybody around I call it an occupational tax, but we get that. Anything.
I thought that's what you were talking about.
I just one thing.
You do remember what happened when we did almost get the occupational tax, right?
What happened?
If my mind serves me correctly, and I'm about 80% sure.
Mm-hmm.
We tried for the occupational tax right back during before the pandemic,
mm-hmm.
and your CEO took it to CNN to try to embarrass Governor Ivey. And after that, she pulled some strings to where we were unable to.
We don't have home rule.
Right, but you got to look at why. So when you have an outspoken person, I mean, I can't say that's race. I think that's more tit for tat. You try to embarrass me, so let me embarrass you type thing. And that's what happened. I guess y'all forgot, but I didn't.
But it's still right. But you don't have to go through all that if you had some portion of home rule. So since we have to kiss
by
the
her
ring,
being the governor, no, you're wrong.
The governor doesn't run the city.
Yes, she do.
No,
she's running the state. She runs the state. Now you don't understand.
No. She does not get to make policy for Montgomery.
She can put things in place to where Montgomery can't move forward, and that's what she did.
Right. And therein lies we don't have home rule. We can't.
Okay, but I mean,
like babies with Pampers on around here.
No, Kevin, it's a part of checks and balance. I mean, everything in the system is checks and balance. Everything. So your idea of this thing called home rule, it's not. It's not. It doesn't exist.
Well, how come Birmingham has it? How come Auburn has
Because
it?
she didn't put those same stipulations
And
in
therein lies.
place.
And what's the difference between all of those cities? What's the difference except we got a black mayor?
Ours was the only one that spoke. No. Let's look at it.
Yeah.
Let's call the good and the bad.
Okay.
Show me any other mayor that came out and was on CNN and CNBC calling out the government.
Well, he was a new mayor then.
No, it doesn't matter. I mean,
we hurt the whole city. So we hurt the whole city for personal grievances?
Apparently.
Well, he was a new mayor. He was a new politician.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. New, recycled. That's what happened.
So why should some cities around us have the authority to do things, and we're the capital city, and we don't have the same authority? That sounds absolutely idiotic to me. Little bitty sounds.
I mean, it might be, but it's the tit for tat. That's politics for you. We can't say it's because we cannot say it's because that he's black when Tuskegee has it and they got black mayors.
But let me tell you something about Tuskegee. Tuskegee is not in this way. Tuskegee is not the same type of municipality that Montgomery is.
It doesn't matter. It removes the race. No, it removes the race card out the way. We're looking city for city. We just so happen to be the capital.
But because of their standing in the municipality, they get to do certain things that Montgomery can't do because they're not the same.
Like I say, it's politically related. So I understand. I mean, I don't like it, but I understand.
Again, I'm tired of hearing you today.
Hey, so we don't have to hear this all day long?
Yeah, you're going to hear
it. In 2020, they imposed a law that no new cities can do an occupational
only after
tax.
Montgomery's
those cities that had it existing was able to keep it, but there are no new cities, black or white, can have an occupational tax without legislative approval. It was done in 2020. Listen one time.
No. They only did that.
If you had it existing, you were able to keep it.
But they only did
no
that when
new laws without legislature.
They only did
Why
it
the black? Why the black? You won't listen. You're so damn dumb. You won't listen.
Because you're wrong. They only did that law when Montgomery decided to do it. Then all of a sudden now, we're not going to let anybody else do that. Okay? That's why they did it, because they didn't want Montgomery to have it. Now, I know the legislatures come to Montgomery and they don't want to pay a little extra money for coming here, but they get
hold on. Let me ask you this.
Yes.
What the mayor of Birmingham, what color is he?
It's a different municipality, though. It's a different.
That's not the question. I just need a straight answer. I'm not.
But they already
stop. Stop. What color is the mayor in Tuskegee?
Right, but they already had it.
Hold on. What's the color? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What is the color of the mayor in Selma?
They ain't the capital, Montgomery. They're not the capital of Alabama.
It's not about it being the capital, but like I say, it's political. It was tit for tat. That's
so I hear you saying. So why did all of a sudden it was something persona non grata when Montgomery said, "Hey, listen, all this traffic coming into Montgomery, everybody's coming in making a living, and we don't really get nothing out of this"?
I tell you what, the person to ask would be Governor Kay Ivey.
What do I want to ask her for? She's gonna give me the same BS.
I mean, you asked us. I'm sitting here telling you, I don't think that this one was racial. I thought, and listening to Doug, and I had to go back and re-look into it.
Well, why didn't this? Right, but let me ask something. Why didn't this come about? Okay, why didn't they have this law in effect? It didn't come about until Montgomery was trying to get the same thing that and listen, I don't want to pay more taxes. I don't want to pay. I don't have much money to pay taxes. But Kevin,
I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna say it real slow. My answer's not gonna change. You might not like it, but my answer's not gonna change. I noticed that after our CEO went on NBC and CNN talking about our governor, that our application for the occupational tax was blocked. So
Well,
I mean,
again,
take it how you
I hear what
want to
you're
take it.
I hear what you're saying.
We didn't
Bad
see.
move.
Wait a minute.
Bad,
We did not
bad
see
move.
the mayor of Birmingham doing it. We didn't hear the mayor of Tuskegee, the mayor of Tuscaloosa. And I'm not, it's kind of hard to say it was just whether it was aimed at Montgomery, but it was a tit for tat move. It was truly a tit for tat move, and it is what it is. We suffered, and that's
Well,
just
listen,
what it is.
it may have been a bad move to do that at that particular time. And to be honest, knowing that you may need the same people that you are, chastising, and I got that. But you, old as she is, she ought not be doing tit for tat.
I mean, maybe, but I mean, I ain't gonna say she threw the first lick. She just threw a deadly lick. So instead of sitting here whining about why, go back and look at it. You
But
talk to him
again,
about everything else.
but again, and I did ask him. I said, "Why haven't you guys sued?" And evidently, they're waiting on something to happen. I don't know what. They ought to sue. I don't want to pay more taxes. Hell, I don't have any money to pay nothing now.
It's not
But
even about what you want to pay, but I'm gonna tell you something. Decisions have consequences.
sure they do.
Actions have reactions. I remember that. I remember that back during the pandemic. I ain't gonna say I agree with what he did or disagree, but every action has a reaction.
Why do you think if people work for the people, okay, then she's no better than he is? Because if people work for the people, the governor works for the same people that Todd, Emory, and Stephen work for.
Right?
So if it's about the people, then why don't we do what's good for the people, regardless of the state or the city that we're in? And if
Because
one city can
honestly,
get
when you're dealing with politics, a lot of the stuff that they do is personal. When it pertains to supporting bills, passing bills, a lot of that stuff is I scratch your back this time, you scratch mine later.
well,
You know
let me
that.
let me ask you a question here, and this is what I really want to talk about today. That was just part of the feed, but can you give me one significant thing that has happened in the last 20 years or how far back you can remember as a voter that has happened, okay, that has helped you prosper?
You said one thing that has
One,
changed.
one legislative move, one legislative law that is what our representation downtown or in the house. Give me one significant thing that has happened that has changed. Hold on a second there, Duke. Hold on, Duke. Don't hang up. Okay. And we always talk about we're gonna put some black people in charge. We're gonna put white people in charge. Can you tell me one thing that is significantly changed, that is conspicuous, that has changed the paradigm of our lives in the city of Montgomery?
Nothing.
Exactly. Exactly. So every year, every 4 years, people go down and tell me, we can vote for me, I'll make you free. Okay. And nothing ever changes.
No. Let's stop right there. That's a lie. That is a lie. I've never heard that. Vote for me, I make you free. But I have heard people. Now, let's look at it, because what you said, it needs to be dissected. Okay. Depending on what they're running for. Now, if we're talking about city council, it could simply, be, we're going to help keep the neighborhood safe. And I have seen that. If you're talking about county commissioners, talking about steps to help improve the school system.
Which nobody in the city can.
I have seen, no, yes, sir. I have seen that too. It's the students that go to the schools that need to be worked on, not the system itself.
No. It's the system. It is
Not
the
true,
system. Yes,
Kevin.
it is. It is
I
their
got kids.
system.
You're
And
not going to sit
I
here
had
and tell me
kids.
this.
Yes,
You got
kids.
one child that's been in school, right?
I got two.
I've got two. I had 5 that then came through MPS, right?
Well, you should have went to work that night.
I've got 5. I can see the good and I can see the bad, but
It's
it's
not the
all
kid.
in
It's
yes,
never
it
the
is.
kid. No. It's grown people that allow kids to do things that normally we would not. Can never blame the
Kevin, I
animals
send
in the
my
zoo.
kids to school for reading, writing, and arithmetic.
That's right.
Okay,
They ain't got time to do it because they got to deal with all these problems.
I
They
mean,
come to school.
and you got other people that send their kids to school for other things, but when I look at the system, I cannot be mad at the system itself. It is aimed to try to make things better for our kids.
Of
To sit
course,
there
it's
and
a
say that
system, man. It's got nothing to do. Kids only do what you allow them to do.
I agree. So when we talk about the county commissioners, they have set things in place to try to help. I do understand when some programs got cut, it hurt. But let's just keep in mind we did have an opportunity at certain programs, and we still do. It might be a little different to apply for like the tutoring and things of that nature, but we do have some stuff out there.
You and
Now,
I are the first tutors that our kids know. I sucked at it, but I tried. But again,
yeah,
though,
but
you
just
got
in case you're not okay, just in case you're not good at it like you,
right.
then they have people in place that can help you.
And there's
If
nothing
you,
wrong with that. But stop saying it's not the system. It is
I
when
can't blame the system.
wait.
You
When you
can,
wait a
I
minute, when
can't.
you got a system that puts kids who are certainly undeveloped in the same room with kids who are highly motivated and highly intelligent, and then you have to you have to teach to the lowest people in there rather than teaching to the highest. That holds everybody back.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever been held back?
Who me?
Yeah.
No.
See how the system works for you?
That's not school. That's not. But I'm from a different place. I'm in a different.
You ain't never lied.
Yeah,
You right about that, Doc.
but
But
it
notice,
is. We've
the
been.
system didn't fail you.
Yes, it. Well, that's because my mom wouldn't let them, and I wouldn't let them either. But
Woo.
in Indiana is a different place. Believe me, certainly a different place in Alabama. In the
But you
South,
didn't. They didn't sit you to the side, did it?
well, that's because I left before they could.
And here's the thing: they should have been set you to the side. You should have been sitting in that room with the helmets and crayons. You should have been riding on that truck
Obviously,
bus.
wait. Obviously, there are some parents who put more time and effort into their kids. I got that part.
I agree with that.
But
So now let
the
me go with
system is
let me go
broken.
with the school. Let me go with your school board members. And this is why it is important as voters, you know who you support and why. So with the school board, yeah, they're still cutting things and trying to improve. The system is not perfect, but it's not as bad as what we make it seem to be.
Well, and I didn't say that, but I'm telling you the things that we find when we actually have young men coming to school with dresses on. Okay. When we
Okay,
talk,
listen,
wait,
that's not the school.
yeah,
That's
yes,
not
it
the
is.
school.
Who in the hell is it?
You said they came to school with a dress on? Okay, first of all, let's stop that. Let's stop right there. Because you and I both know that is hyperbole. You're not going to
Now
MPS.
I've seen it.
In
I've seen it.
MPS,
That's right. A couple years
can you
ago, yeah, because we was going through this transgender and this and transgender that, and all of a sudden, kids are showing up with dresses on, boys with eyelashes on, and all that kind of crap.
I mean, you know what? You've always had them goth and folks doing stuff like that,
And
but
we shouldn't have that either.
you probably shouldn't have it, but that you can't blame the school, you blame the house.
Somebody said, respectfully, Mr. Knight is remembering incorrectly. That's right. That's right. Prior to being elected as mayor in 2019, the occupational tax was mentioned on campaign trail by candidate for Mayor Reed and a couple of council candidates, Chris Sales, of course, of Greenville, and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, read what he said. Oh, and he said
I seen it.
it
I'm looking
passed
dead at it.
5
And
vote in February.
I'm reading what he's saying. I see what he's saying, and I totally disagree because it was at the point that when Mayor Reed was elected that he went to move forward on it. And unfortunately, the situation with the pandemic happened.
Right.
And I want you guys got smartphones. You guys got access to YouTube. Go back and Google it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I remember about 80% of it. Yes, the occupational tax was discussed as they were running, but I want you to go back and look at what happened once we had a winner and they went to move forward on it. It didn't go the way we thought it was going to go.
Yeah. What he said, stop saying the military is the only job that you are, what he says, required to give.
Required to give your life for enlistments beyond the support and defend the Constitution.
I don't know what that means, but it is the only job where you are required, if asked to, is to go into harm's way, whether you get shot or not. The Supreme Court, nope.
FBI agents.
Nope. The Supreme Court has ruled that a police officer does not have the responsibility to save you. Okay, that's what they ruled. Okay, so they don't. But soldiers' job is to do that, but not policemen. Now, they want to be brave and do their thing. That's cool, but they're not required to protect you as an individual. Okay, look up the case. It's there. Okay? As a matter of fact, based on multiple U.S. Supreme Court rulings, law enforcement agencies are not generally required by the Constitution to protect individual citizens from harm.
So even though their slogan is to protect and serve, they're not supposed to protect.
It sounds good. It's a slogan that sounds good to make you think that they're coming to help you out when you get in trouble. The Supreme Court has ruled a couple of times that is not their function. Their function, most of the part, is to protect property.
Hold on. I want to finish answering your question. I'm going through it level by level. When you vote for a state house rep, the only thing they can do is propose bills and try to get them passed, right? If a person is running saying they're going to make this a law, make that a law, I blame the voters because you have to be educated enough to know that can't no one person do anything.
So why don't they say, and that's part about this whole political game I don't like. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that.
Don't blame them. I blame you. You should be educated enough to know. I mean, you guys done voted enough to where you should understand and should know. Can't no one person do no anything.
I'm not the guy that needs that education. It's the people out there who get behind these idiots running for office that they should know that one man makes up zero. It's not even a 1% of the body of the governmental body downtown. One man can't do jack nothing.
And I understand that you are, and I mean, hey, they keep falling for the rabbit in the hat trick.
Right. These people believe that if you if you vote for them, you're going to be able to do something. You have to get a coalition together. I ask politicians, who do you know downtown? Who do you know? Who do you know downtown? You can pick up the phone with right now and call them. That's in the legislature. Who do you know?
Who's about me in particular?
Anybody running. How are you going to get any bill passed without the help of somebody else? You can't.
And then, we have to be educated enough and smart enough to send people to. I'm just saying, you got to be smart enough to be able to send people that can work with people across the aisle.
But you just got done saying, I've been here for 35 years. You just got done saying, you and I either can't see any significant thing that has happened since I've been voting. And this is the only place I've ever voted for.
I mean, when you start looking at certain, like I say, yay and nay, I haven't seen no major changes, but I've seen a lot of small changes. Nothing major.
Change in my pocket, so that don't help me.
I mean, but that's change, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it starts somewhere.
Okay. Well, anyway, it just seemed like to me we've been told the same thing for 35 years.
Then
There
why
has
do you
been.
keep buying it?
Oh, I don't buy it no more. I'm done with it.
Okay.
I'm done with it. It's a game, and once you understand the game is to get elected, not necessarily. And our politics, the black politics, hell, I don't ever even see them. I forget. As a matter of fact,
Why should they show up? Why?
why should
We don't require nothing of them.
Well, we don't, and therein lies the problem. But
And
they
so
take the
it's not
job.
them, it's us. Our elected officials, city council, county commissioners, North State House reps hold absolutely no type of town hall gatherings to inform the public.
A couple of them do.
Who?
But
Who?
Aronde, Julie
No,
Beard.
Aronde holds what you would call damage control meetings.
Okay, it's still a meeting. It's still a meeting.
And the damage control, I've been to one, won't go to no more. It has nothing to do with what we're there for.
Well, that's because when you let people into those meetings, you can't, unless you have a strict adherence to the rules, they'll bring up my neighbor's dog pooped in my yard. Now, that's what I'll be bringing up.
Yeah, look, I've been to one of those meetings that he had, and I didn't care for it. I won't be going back there anymore.
Dude.
Hey, you forgot about me, didn't you? I thought you got some milk or something.
Well, you kind of easy to forget about sometimes, but go right ahead.
I know you want to forget about me, but yeah, I thought you went and got some chocolate milk, or you had to go out in the pasture and get some milk from the damn cow up underneath yourself. Got a question. How you doing, guest?
All right, how you doing, sir?
Anyway, Kevin, the city of Pike Road, didn't they have the occupational tax passed out there recently?
No, I don't think they had an occupational tax pull. They had a millage. They had a millage upgrade, and the millage is more money on their real estate out there. The more tax, more money on their land tax, whatever they call that tax. Yeah, but not.
I wasn't sure. I thought they was trying to get that passed at one time and got it passed. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't know enough about this right here to really argue about it.
Well, see you later then. See you later then. I mean, you don't know enough about that.
Yeah. I just using that for as a reference. I wasn't sure. I thought they had passed that one.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of.
Now they did.
Thinking about that. Okay.
Okay then. Oh well.
Well, you cold. You cold.
No, listen. I'm just saying we've been talking for 35. This is the only place I've ever voted in Montgomery, Alabama. I've never voted anyplace else. So
you didn't vote when you were in the military?
No, I was from Indiana, and I was stationed either overseas or so. Why the hell I'm gonna vote for somebody I don't even know?
I mean, you did get a chance to vote on your boss, the president, right?
Who, Ronnie?
Whoever was running for president.
I supported Ronald Reagan, but I didn't vote for. I didn't vote while I was in the military. I didn't. I was too young and dumb.
Well, I've been voting since I was 18. One of the people online, Miss Camilla Hook, said you can make a change on May 19th, 2026, and she is right.
Not if we get in the same type of no, not if we do not and expect anything from them. Not if we do not ask questions. Now, and like I'm looking at Jamel. Jamel ain't got no business running for governor. But let me use him. Last night he's in Birmingham.
Okay.
He's in Birmingham on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he didn't have and he's not by itself. So let me get. He didn't have an answer for any question. All he did was answer the question with the problem. Okay, not an answer. I'm gonna see if I can get it here. Not an answer. Didn't have a plan for anything except he knew.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm not even mad at him. You know why?
Why is that?
Number one, he ain't the first one that hadn't ran.
That's true.
Ain't told you nothing. So let's not hold him to no standing high. You know, I mean, and don't get me wrong. I don't. Jamel is gonna be Jamel. We know who he is.
Yeah.
But he's not the first. He's not the first person to run for political office that didn't know nothing about, that didn't answer no questions. He's not the first one to run for political office that didn't promise, that didn't really, tell you that something that you wanted to hear. We reelected somebody that told us they didn't even need our vote. So at that point, there is absolutely nothing we can say as a whole. They put a city council person back in that they knew didn't even answer phone calls and fired one that did, all because they found out he was a Republican. So let's not pretend like we got all these standards.
We don't. But listen, okay, Jamel, I'm finna, he was on some TV station like that.
I haven't seen him.
Well, I'm gonna show it to you right now. This lies the problem that we have. People who have no plan, but all they do is regurgitate the problem. Okay, we all know what the problems are, but let me let you see this, because I'm gonna let you check. Okay, here he goes right here. We all know what the problems are. Let me see. Facebook. Okay, let's see if I can do that right there. And this is my problem right here. This is it. This is it in a nutshell. Let me see here now. They're gonna get mad at me for it, but I don't care. All right, let me see here.
To Alabama, so that people can have good jobs to work on and fixing our education system. They're the main thing.
Okay, fix our education system, and people are gonna have good jobs they can work on. Okay, I hear you, brother. Okay, let's keep going.
I want to work on that I haven't worked on: job, crime, education. But the main point to get to that and fix those is the legalization of marijuana, bringing in our lottery, and legalizing online gaming.
Okay, wait a minute. They ain't came up with a solution yet. All he does, like many politicians do, all they do is reverberate and recite the problems, not the solution. Let's see some more.
And sports betting online.
Sports betting, legalize marijuana.
We'll get to lottery in a bit, but Alabamians pay some of the highest monthly electric bills in the country.
Okay, now the commentator, the reporter said he's going to talk about electrical bills now. We pay some of the highest electrical bills in the country.
You can kind of stop it right about there, man. You can stop it right there.
Anyway,
No. You ain't gonna like the direction I'm heading, but you can kind of stop it right there.
That's up to you. I ain't trying to change your mind.
No. Because I got a question for you.
Yes.
What has Tuberville said?
Tuberville's gonna win.
I ain't asked if he gonna win. And what has he promised? What has he promised to do or work on?
Well, he did say if we keep shooting each other in the streets of Montgomery, we're gonna bring in the National Guard. I'd be all for that.
Well, Trump said that. Tell me what Tuberville said.
Tuberville is
hadn't said a thing.
Okay, and none of them. But listen, this is.
Wait a minute. Wait. But you singled out Jamel, which my thing,
because
and I don't have a problem.
No business running for the governorship.
The thing of it is, I'm gonna tell you what I see. Yeah. Jamel, I'm not saying he's the best, the worst candidate, but if you're gonna run, bring something to the table on some ideas.
Right.
He's the loudest, but my question is, I'm asking you, what? Because you're sitting here saying Tuberville's gonna win, and Tuberville just might win. Granted, the Republicans don't turn on him, but what is he talking about bringing to the table?
Okay.
The answer is absolutely nothing.
But he is a U.S. sitting senator right now.
The only reason why he's there is because they didn't want Roy Moore and they didn't want Doug Jones. And guess what? Even as a sitting U.S. senator, he's an embarrassment. That joker said he wanted to get to Alabamians. That joker, he wants to get, listen.
Yeah.
This joker went to the U.S. Senate talking about getting rid of daylight savings.
What's wrong with that?
He should be over there in Florida embarrassing them not us.
Wait a minute. A lot of people have a president. A lot of people talk about getting rid of. I don't even know why we
Right,
do it
cool.
anyway.
He's the only one I've ever heard.
Trump said it. A lot of
Trump
people
ain't
said
never
it.
say nothing like that. And I listen to a lot of stuff he say. I've
What?
never heard Trump say nothing ludicrous like that.
And he did say like, according to Garrett, that he's going to get rid of some of these stupid regulations that we have, which I'm all good for. But
Listen, everything Tuberville has said as a U.S. senator has made him look like an idiot.
Well,
a flat out idiot. Name me one piece of legislation that Tuberville introduced as a U.S. senator that have made Alabama better.
Hey, let me ask you something.
Just like you asked me a question, I need for you to answer mine. Right. The answer is he hasn't. He's been collecting a free check. Tommy Tuberville is a flat.
Wait. Let me ask you something. Give me a bill that he supported that you don't.
Tuberville?
Yeah.
I don't even think Tuberville even voted.
You don't know. You don't know, Jack.
But hold on. Wait, just like, no. He's the only one that's running that's in a seat, right?
But
Republicans and Democrats. He is the only one. Wait a minute. He's the only one that is currently serving in a seat.
Just tell me a bill that he support that you didn't like.
Doc, I don't I don't know nothing about his voting bill. The only thing I know about Tuberville, hold on, I don't know what he voted on. I can't even prove the guy voted. But what I can prove is that he's a moron, an oxymoron at that. He's going to do something in one state that hasn't been done in all 50. He's going to get rid of daylight savings. He is an embarrassment.
Wait a minute. If he gets rid of daylight savings, that's going to be for the country, not one state.
Doc, he can't do that for the country as no governor of the state of Alabama.
Of course he can.
So, listen, I am embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that Joker, it was a coach at the school that I like. The school that I got one of my daughters is going to graduate.
Everybody can't go to Notre Dame. I mean, everybody can't be at Notre Dame. So.
You're right. Especially with the problems with the stories they've had. But Tommy Tuberville is the most embarrassing politician we've got on the roster today.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
You and I are on opposite ends of the spectrum on this. I think he's just a regular guy that tells it like it is with regular vernacular. He doesn't go through all this political BS.
But you're also the same guy that can criticize Obama for wearing a tan suit, but doesn't have a problem with Trump cussing on national TV.
Well, sometimes you got to cuss people out.
So your moral standards is just it's in the trash.
Well, sometimes you got to cuss people out to get their attention. Okay, I mean that's just where it goes. The music we say now, it's got nothing but cuss words. In
the interest of fairness, Alabama is sliding down a slippery slope.
I disagree.
If we get Tommy Tuberville, we will be the laughing stock of all 50 states. You guys got a governor that's going to take him a baseball bat and go outside and fist fight and swing at daylight savings because he hadn't said anything. And the only reason why he has the popularity he has right now is because he's a former coach and he's a current he's a sitting senator that hadn't done a thing since he was sworn in.
Okay, and again, here's what I ask you. I'm not going to ask you this because I really want to know. You say he hasn't done anything. You don't like anything he does. Tell me.
Okay, tell me what has he done?
Well, I'm not complaining about him.
Wait, no. But tell me what has he done? Convince me that he's done
like
something.
A man. He acts like a man rather than a wuss, and that's what I like. So
you like his behavior?
Sure. I like regular behavior.
Stop, because behavior does not affect my lifestyle. What has he done that has enhanced our lifestyle in the state of Alabama?
What has he done to do the opposite?
Get on national TV and say that he's going to fight daylight savings?
That's
embarrassing.
if you look on this, if you look on our wait a minute, look on our quotes right here on some of our comments, and somebody in there said they want to get rid of daylight saving time.
I
And
tell you what, name me one other politician that said, he puts me in the mind of Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker said he's going to take the air from America and push it over to China, and he's going to go get a paper bag and bring China's good air over here and give them our bad air. I mean, just embarrassing.
I mean, Herschel wasn't the most intellectual campaigner.
And neither is Tommy Tuberville.
But Tommy Tuberville got a U.S. senator behind his name now. So
Herschel almost had it. The mere fact that he made the runoff blows me.
Okay. Well, again, if you're going to dislike somebody's actions, you ought to be able to tell me what action you're talking about.
I just told you what I dislike. You can't tell me what you...
Well, what bill has Tuberville supported that you don't?
I don't even think Tuberville even got behind any bill.
That's what I
don't know. But what I do know is when they put that microphone in front of him and the lights were on bright, he told the world that he was going to fight daylight savings. And I mean, if they weren't laughing at us,
we all too. Daylight savings time only affects us. I mean, it's got nothing to do with everybody else.
Daylight savings affects everybody.
In the United States, tell me what's beneficial about it. What is the benefit of daylight saving time? Except you lose an hour in the summer and you gain an hour back in the winter. What is
the benefit of getting rid of it? Something that's been there since before me and you were born.
What's the benefit of having it?
Like I say, we need to just get Tommy Tuberville.
Do you know why we got? You know why we got it? You know why we got it? We got it because during World War II, they had to make the days long because the hour people were working longer. I think that's where it came from. We're not in World War II anymore. Okay.
Well, listen, I think the best thing we could do for Tuberville going forward is get him the biggest coloring book Walmart has and some crayons and sit his slow behind in a room with a desk and, just move on.
I gotta, when you come up with a reason that something that you can totally, disagree with, then I'll listen to it.
I just gave it to you. You didn't like it.
You don't like, you talking about personality traits.
But here's the thing. You're talking about behavior traits. You can't tell me or your listening audience one piece of legislation that he passed to help out, that improved our lifestyle.
Can you tell me one? Wait a minute. Can you tell me one piece of legislation that he did that he supported that hurt us? That's what I
really. He said he was going to do whatever Trump said, which means he doesn't have a mind of his own. At least Marjorie Taylor Greene had a mind of her own.
Well, listen, the next time we talk,
at least Tim Scott had a mind of his own. Mitt Romney had a mind of his own. John McCain had a mind of his own.
I gotta go, but we'll finish this another day.
Okay.
Hey, one thing about it though, Pastor, you's a good Democrat. I love you.
No, no. I'm a good fair man.
Now you're a good Democrat. I ain't mad at you, but we still love you. See you later. Bye. All right, time's up. Round 2 tomorrow on something. Anyway, see you guys later. Joe Hagler, I'm going to be on Joe Hagler's show from 11 to 12. So teaching people on TV how to, think like I do. Okay, so we'll do that. So y'all catch me on TV later on. It's in the CW in Montgomery, Alabama. Okay, from 10 to me and Joe gonna get together again. Yeah, I gotta go. Time's up. See you. Bye.